All right, you guys, welcome into this collective reading. Moon in Scorpio trying to over to Neptune in Pisces, happening at 12:15 a.m. It's currently 11:53 p.m. All right, so we're about 15-20 minutes away. All right, Scorpio, Moon in Scorpio at 29 degrees. Oh, damn. The moon is going to ingress into Sagittarius at 11:20. So we're going hand in hand here. All right. Let's see what comes out. I got Oracle of the Radiant Sun here. And I'm going to use tarot. If I need to pull anything else, I will. Let's see what this says. I just saw 103 on the clock. I saw 10th house and 3rd house. All right. So communication and, I don't know, authority. Gemini energy, Capricorn energy. Mercury in Cancer, heightened intuition. Jupiter in Scorpio, manipulation, 4th house and 8th house, coming out heavy water energy. Mercury in Taurus, resistance. Saturn in Aquarius, eccentricity. I see heavy on the fixed energy here as well. 8th house, 2nd house, 11th house. Mercury in Capricorn. I see Mercury in the 4th house and the 10th house in opposition with Mercurian energy. It's crazy. All right, so organization. Saturn in Sag, fulfillment. Mars in Sag, domination. Heavy on the 9th house energy now. Sun in Scorpio. Okay, endurance. At the bottom of the deck, Moon in Virgo order. Split the deck, Moon in Cancer, friendship. All right. What's going on with your intuition? It's on point. The Chariot. What's the whole manipulation about? So just the first thing that came to mind was if your intuition is on point about something and you're literally like having success with whatever, I can't speak, with whatever your intuition is telling you, there's someone trying to come in and manipulate whatever it is that your intuition is telling you. Jupiter in Scorpio energy, what is that about? I feel like they're trying to like interfere. All right. Bring some sort of restriction to whatever it is that you're having success with here. Because if you're having success, then they want to bring that to an end. There seems to be some sort of resistance here. Heavy on the Mercurian energy. Ten of Swords. It's giving like betrayal. All right. This is the Sun in Gemini, and I said on the clock I saw 103. I took it as 10th house and 3rd house. All right, so this could be like those that have positions of authority about what's being communicated, possibly even online, because I see the World card. It's like if you're achieving something, they're trying to get you to stop, all right, by betraying you somehow, some way. Saturn in Aquarius. The King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Again, I see Sun in Scorpio right below that Saturn in Aquarius. All right, so Aquarius to Scorpio's energy, that's a square. It's going to be some sort of tension here. All right, it could be involving like a soulmate connection. All right. So I don't know if your intuition is on point about something. They're trying to manipulate you from putting it either online, trying to resist you by getting someone to betray you so that you focus more so on whatever this heightened intuition is. It's kind of like aligning you with your soulmate here. You have lots of endurance in your energy. All right, this looks like a specific organization here, Mercury in Capricorn. 4 of Cups, they want to like reject you for some reason. I guess because you're speaking, I don't know, it feels like truth. All right, Saturn and Sag energy here with fulfillment. 10 of Cups. All right, so they don't want you to fulfill your happiness. They want you to have some sort of rejection here. I keep seeing like 10-4. 10-4 is given like career and home environment. All right, so what's going on with this domination energy with Mars and Sagittarius? It's almost like somebody's trying to force themselves into the lead, and they don't want you to do that, if that's you. They want you like imprisoned or trapped in fear or something like this. All right, because whatever information you have, it's valid. Show me endurance. The Hierophant. The Four of Swords. There's something being negotiated in the background, all right? I don't know if someone wants you to take a break or rest, all right, in connection to whatever this organization is. Spread the deck, the Fool card. You're about to have some sort of brand new beginning. Why is this Two of Cups out here? So if you're bringing order to the workplace, or if for whatever reason you have some sort of friendship with someone in the workplace, they don't like that. Two of Cups. The Eight of Cups. They want you to emotionally withdraw from your soulmate, okay? Yeah. The Hermit. And the Knight of Swords. They could be attacking you spiritually. The Ace of Wands, so that you focus on your passion and whatever this brand new beginning is. Show me you bringing order into the workplace. Three of Swords. Uh-oh. I don't know if you're going through like having to sacrifice and devote a lot of your time, your energy, whatever that is, or having to be highly concentrated on something here. And then show me this Moon and Cancer energy with friendship. The Page of Cups. That has heightened intuition in it, all right, with this Page of Cups. The Emperor. All right, I don't know if there's a father figure, a boss, or somebody that kind of like watches over you and is a friend. This person could be trying to come in and like apologize for burdening you. All right, trying to bring something back into balance. I see Aries and Libra in opposition in majors. All right, so this could have been like some sort of partnership or something that was taking place in an organization where you are highly intuitive. It says you have a lot of success, but there was a lot of manipulation here. It could have burdened you. It could have been that it was in the public eye. It happened to be online. There was been a lot of betrayal, all right, in connection to like the spiritual community, how you've been, you know, dealing with some sort of resistance here, but you're doing something very eccentric and lots of endurance behind it. All right, but for whatever reason, this organization wants you to feel rejected. They don't want you emotionally fulfilled. They want you trapped in fear, and it's because of, I guess, who's in charge. All right, with the Hierophant. Show me the Hierophant energy. The King of Swords. That's what I'm saying. That's the person in charge, the person in authority of this organization. All right, they kind of want you to like stand down. Okay. Queen of Cups, Six of Swords. Move on and invest elsewhere. Show me why you're so like devoted to this. The Knight of Swords. I feel like it's because you know that there's some sort of deception happening in the background, and maybe you're trying to bring clarity to that situation. I feel like what's going on here with this Emperor and this Justice energy? Five of Swords. This person could be trying to like get you to detach because they're working behind your back for whatever reason. Maybe they want you to go collaborate with them. It definitely feels like a spiritual attack. I don't know why. Queen of Swords, Three of Cups. That's that Mercury energy. It's whatever you understand in your intuition and what you're being communicated about. All right, why you have so much endurance behind whatever this is. They want to communicate to you, especially about something from the past. Knight of Cups, the Devil, the Five of Cups. I don't know. Somebody was very obsessive in the past, maybe. There could have been a lot of grievance in connection to how much this person has been investing. And it looks like you're independent. You're not focused on them. You're focused on a different pathway that's faded for you. So if they can stop you, block you, manipulate you, resist you, neglect you, reject you, I mean, that's kind of what it's giving me here. It's all part of like you trying to expose something and being devoted to that, but knowing that there is some sort of like attack here and you wanting to bring clarity to a situation, how you've been strategized against. Because it's like you're bringing the order into the workplace. This person could be utilizing you in this way. I don't know how. If you're highly intuitive and you know about some sort of manipulation or the resistance of something, then it kind of feels like you've dealt with the worst of it all, okay? 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups. All you want is emotional fulfillment, and you're dealing with somebody that's in a position of authority that won't allow you to speak. Okay. Damn. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, so Neptune in Pisces is in its domicile. All right, maybe more than likely you understand intuitively what's going on. All right, what's been hidden, some sort of secret, and you maybe want to reveal this. All right. Let's see. United Nations Day. We celebrate United Nations Day on October the 24th to commemorate the official founding of the UN in 1945 when its charter came into effect. It is a day to highlight the organization's work in promoting global peace, security, and cooperation, as well as its efforts in human rights, sustainable development, and humanitarian aid. The celebration also serves to encourage international unity and highlight the importance of nations working together to solve global problems. So promoting peace and security, highlighting human rights and development, encouraging global unity, and raising awareness. So maybe that's what this is. Your intuition is heightened right now. You know something about specific organizations and you want to bring clarity to situations where human rights and development is supposed to be here to encourage other ones or other people to come into unity. Somebody's trying to stop you from doing this. I don't know. Spirit just told me to look into that. That's weird as hell. Interesting. But there seems to be some sort of manipulation behind whatever this is. Lots of resistance. Weird. Discrimination in the workplace. Venus and Virgo, 9 of Pentacles, they don't want you to be independent doing something. It's about how you're going to unite with others. How you're going to be bringing order into the workplace. What in the hell is this? Saturn in Cancer. I see Mercury in Virgo in its domicile. That's like 10 of Pentacle energy. I see 9 of Pentacle energy out here. Are you doing charitable work for free? 9 and 10 of Pentacles is like your independence, your freedom. All right, you supposed to be reaping rewards from whatever type of work you're putting in here. 10 of Pentacles, building some sort of legacy, but there seems to be some sort of restriction in the home environment. Saturn in Cancer. Jupiter in Sag, so in its domicile as well. I don't know, this feels like a spiritual thing. Jupiter in Sag, maybe you have like higher knowledge about something. You live by specific ethics and principles. All right, you're like trying to warn other people about how we should be living. 10 of Pentacles is like others should be like building wealth, not sacrificing for others. Almost like, you know what I mean? Like there's some sort of discrimination around the workplace. Something has to transform. I see butterflies. Okay. Mars and Scorpio, revenge. This is what I'm saying. I feel like you're having some sort of phenomenal achievement by bringing something to the light, by exposing like those that are wearing masks. It's like off with your fucking head type of energy. I don't know if you're being rebellious out here with something, or if you're meant to bring some sort of transformation in. There could be a lot of criticism in the workplace. it's given me sixth house here 3 times. With Venus, with Mercury, and with Mars. These are personal planets. So anything that you do creatively, or how you obtain your resources, your finances, your possessions, Mercurian energy, whatever type of rumors or, news that you hear about, Mars, how you're going to take action. People could be like pointing the finger at you, blaming you why things are taking place in the workplace, but you're trying to unite other people. If this is the spiritual community, you're trying to warn other people about why there's been so much discrimination and you're seeking revenge. You're not supposed to. See what I'm saying? Mars and Leo, there's a lot of egotism, a lot of pride. Mars in the 8th, Mars in the 6th, Mars in the 5th. And now Mars in the 1st house. Wow. Mars is like take action no matter where it's affecting you overall. If it's in the house of self, how you present yourself out to the world, don't be afraid to do so. It's bringing you good luck. Mars in the 5th house, if you have some sort of interest, hobby, skill, if you are like good at something with self-expressing or going after your happiness, don't be afraid to do so. Who gives a shit if they're criticizing you in the workplace? Who gives a shit if they're pointing their finger at you? You come through and you show revenge. The Sun in Aquarius, is that who you are? Very idealistic, split the deck. Moon in Capricorn, you're bringing something into like, practicality in the 10th house. These are the specific organizations you work for. This could be, in your day-to-day routine life, all right? Because it's kind of giving me like everybody has to come together and put in their work. Weird. Why is there so much discrimination here? Because you're like on the right pathway. The Wheel of Fortune. You're supposed to help bring change in for the near future. And that's why it came out earlier with the Chariot. I feel like you're on the right pathway here. And you're supposed to be coming and helping people collaborate together. 3 of Pentacles. This is 10th house energy, Capricorn. Or this is what you're supposed to be doing right now. Part of your purpose. So you're exposing all of the deception that could be happening overall. Or that's what you're meant to do. Show me Saturn and Cancer's energy. Maybe you do something as charity right now. Page of Swords. Wow. Something's being watched over. Or you're either gathering information about whatever's happening here. It could be surrounding like an environment, a community, the home environment, something going on here. The Emperor. I feel like you're being watched over by the boss, or you were sent in to do so. That's the truth, to bring clarity to a situation, to warn others like how things are supposed to be done, or to caution others about like what's to come in the near future in connection to principles like your ethics, your spiritual journey, that type of thing. The Queen of Swords, that's what I'm saying. You could be very direct, very concentrated. All right. The Five of Swords. It may be feeling like you could be exposing lies, rumors, all right, how people are working up against each other. There's something that you don't want to happen, like you're trying to have someone detached before something bad happens. Is that what that is? King of Wands. Or you're trying to warn somebody about this fire sign. Like caution them about this King of Wands. Right? Or how this is going to be affecting your world. So again, if we're looking at Jupiter and Sagittarius, that could be the King of Wands. Like the type of principles that we're supposed to live by. The Queen of Swords is going to bring perspective, truth, and clarity to a situation, and where a lot of people been either dealing with mental conflict or feeling like, everybody's trying to win at all costs. But if we all live by principles, everything would run smoothly. The Two of Swords. It's like having people face their fears when it comes to actually living ethical in a practical life. And why there's so much deception here. Why there's so much impulsiveness around, like everybody trying to win at once. What? Like if we all work together and moved in the energy of like love. If we all understood something intuitively, how things will come into harmony and balance and everything would be more so diplomatic. Everybody wouldn't be so like, I don't know, it's giving me the word feisty. I don't know what that means. There's something about like the worldview, how something's been like, again, global unity is what it was speaking about. How we can manifest together. Why is revenge here? Eight of Wands, because something's going to start accelerating a lot faster now. Ace of Cups. Maybe it has a lot to do with like self-love or Magician. There's a lot of quick sudden changes coming in overall. It's almost as if we manifested through the energy of love, we wouldn't be seeking revenge. If we all collaborated together, we would be able to be on our purpose, on our destiny, having lots of success. You're being criticized for this, though. It's almost like somebody doesn't want you in this workplace. Yeah, it feels like they don't want you here. So they betray you. They don't want you bringing clarity to whatever this is. Whoever the authority figure is in this organization, in this community. But I feel like you're being watched over by the boss by speaking the truth. And because you're doing it as charitable work, others criticize you. Because you're bringing clarity to a situation that seems to be unfair on how others are being betrayed. So it creates conflict, rather. But you're doing something for a good cause, Saturn in Leo energy. I feel like you're invested in this too, like way invested. Like this could be you having a specific skill and doing something like innovatively. And you're being discriminated because of that. Show me egotism. There could be like a very standoffish type of energy that they don't want you to say this, but you don't give a shit. You're warning everybody about it. Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, King of Wands. It's like, what are we all fighting for? What's all the mental conflict about? And everybody's like attacking everybody. See what I'm saying? There's way too much endurance here. Maybe people are so stuck on what the past looked like, or nostalgic about how things should be. There's a lack of emotion here, or there could be, this is Sun in Scorpio energy once again. It's like we need to have some sort of endurance to remain determined and continue to push forward with transformation. Like we can't stay stuck in the past. Things have to actually change and accelerate. And I feel like you were the guiding light, or you were sent in to like mentor others. So people may think that you're in your ego or your pride or you're overpowering other people. But you're more than likely trying to defend and protect the unity of whatever this organization is, or global unity. Because it's supposed to be like some sort of brand new beginning for everybody involved. Six of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles, it's almost like the more that we invest together, we can be more successful, we can have more wins, lots of more victories. Everybody will be recognized and rewarded, and you know what I mean? It would be that everything remains stable. I just heard the word legit. Show me impulsiveness. I don't know. There's some sort of, I keep seeing Seven of Pentacles energy, Strength card, and the Fool. It's like the more that you invest in something, the more courageous you are. A lot of strength, a lot of courage on how you're trying to bring others with you to bring balance to a situation. It's like you bring a lot more people along with you. Page of Pentacles. People start gaining the skill that you have in the pathway that you're going on. They choose to go on as well. The Tower. It could be like a massive, like unexpected change. Or this is what this is, like getting ready for what is to come in the near future. Other people don't see it, but it's a global thing. So if you're doing something online, those that are trying to manipulate the situation, or how it feels that someone knows that you kind of pry out other people's secrets, it's not doing that. It's following some sort of code or something. Like, you are idealistic. You know how to live a practical life. That's what's coming. Show me the Sun in Aquarius energy. It's almost like you have some sort of wisdom and knowledge that you're pouring out to the universe and how to live a more practical life. What's happening while the moon is in Capricorn? Because, I mean, we're right coming up this weekend here. So on Sunday, the moon steps into Capricorn. And it will go into the moon in Aquarius, which is going to be the first quarter moon. All right, so the 26th, 27th, the 28th, and the 29th, there's something shifting in the energy. I do see a lot of squares. Right, so we're going to see squares over from the moon Sag to Saturn Pisces, Neptune Pisces, where today we're seeing a trine with the moon in Scorpio to Neptune Pisces. We're seeing squares as well over to Venus in Libra to Capricorn's energy with the moon. And then we're going to see a square as well over to Chiron and Aries with the moon in Capricorn. So it kind of goes from like mutable energies to cardinal energies, and where we're going to see these squares. So whatever seems to be in flow right now, whatever it is that you're initiating, has to be like there's tension here. It's kind of like already rallying up on why someone's seeking revenge against you because of how successful you are, or who you're collaborating with, or why you're being discriminated from something, why you're receiving some sort of criticism because of what you do pertaining to charity, how you're bringing change or structure or discipline to a specific community or an environment. And then someone feels that, oh, you're being just egotistical. No, you're actually meant to bring in change and warn people about how things are moving forward and remaining impulsive. Like, let's go. These are our ethics. These are our principles. This is what we're supposed to be living by. Okay. Wow. So you're being discriminated by a specific organization, rather. They don't want other people to know this. This is the devil, Capricorn energy, and here's Virgo. Venus and Virgo's out here. Because if everyone knew about what this is, no one would want to collaborate with that specific organization. This is organization. So Virgo to Capricorn energy, this has to do with like day-to-day routines, your workplace, your health, all right? And it has a lot to do with like looking into the details, being more analytical, more efficient with something. And then Capricorn's energy would be like your career, your reputation, your public image, the direction that you head in life, so that you're on the right pathway here. It's your midhaven. It's part of your destiny. It's what's fated. So 6th house, 10th house energies, again, heavy on the earth energy. So maybe that is what it is. Like global unity. If everybody was to do what they have to do, we would be in alignment with where everybody's putting in their part and collaborating together. But again, for whatever reason, they don't want you to speak on this. Why? You may not understand why this is happening the way that it's happening. Yeah, I feel like other people may be like trapped in not understanding what this is. All right, Jupiter and Gemini energy, like Jupiter is expansion, it's growth, it's abundance, it's prosperity, it's how we gain knowledge to like help other people gain knowledge, right? It's almost like in Gemini's energy is at its detriment. It's like if you have all this information and nobody to speak it to, where does it go? It's useless, right? Right? But the organization is like, if this was put out there, then it causes some sort of destruction. But I feel like it affects resources. This is Taurus, this is Scorpio. Second house is your values, your finances, your possessions, your materialistic, your creativity, your self-love, like anything that has to do with like your self-esteem. If this is the community overall that's spiritual, then it will be like there's a shocking tower where Scorpio's energy says, okay, well, if we all knew about what we could obtain in connection to this organization, this institution, this community of people, heavy spiritual principles, tradition, right? Then over here in Scorpio's house, there will be major transformation. There will be like overcoming debt. There will be like understanding sexual desires, things that are secret, things that are mysterious. Like this would be like massive change. And we would all be moving in the energy of love for our principles, our ethics, and our morals, and however we're supposed to be living by them. And everybody would be emotionally happy then, right? For Wands, committed in marriage, committed to the right community. It will be like the home environment is great. You know what I mean? There's celebrations. But that's just kind of like a lustful type of energy. This is Venus in Aries. I don't know. The 1111 portal is important. Jupiter's going retrograde on that day. It's in the sign of Cancer where it's exalted. So if there's like opportunities for expansion, let's just say in inner healing or anything having to do with the home or the family, things like that, okay? There will be some sort of celebration, and it will be like heightened intuition as well. This is Mercury in Cancer. So the information coming through will be more so everybody is collaborating together intuitively. That was the very first card that came out. This is what I'm saying. Family is important, legacy is important, building wealth is important. Just long term. And it starts with the Empress. Maybe it has to do with the feminine energy. Or how important a feminine energy is. Here's the moon in Sag. So where are we? 1225. So again, there seems to be some sort of boundary up with this. I don't know if feminines are supposed to be taking over. Okay. Capricorn is not a feminine energy. Technically, it can be seen as it, but I mean, it's earth energy. It is Mother Nature, right? But there's boundaries put up here. Like you have to have spiritual strength. You have to remain optimistic instead of being pessimistic. Like we can't do this. No, you stand strong and you put up a boundary and say, no, I'm not doing that. And bringing that into the, enlightenment for everybody to understand. This is deeper than what I thought this reading was. There's something about like self and relationships, as I was seeing, like the Aries with the Emperor opposing justice. All right, so maybe if this has to do with like the masculines not being able to speak on something or afraid to do so, they're more so sending the feminine to do it, because the feminine is like, well, they'll be charitable enough to do it. The feminine is more disciplined, structured in the family, in the home environment. It's almost like, but that person is being criticized for what type of work that they do. This is weird. Completely weird. So if the feminine is the one that's being discriminated, here's Venus's energy in the workplace, then the Mars energy in Scorpio says, well, I'm going to seek revenge. Anything having to do with who you're sexually involved with, all right, what seems to be like the mysteries or the secrets of like off with the head type of energy, like I want to reveal what seems to be a secret. That's Scorpio energy, it's secretive. Wow. And then there's this energy of like Mars, and where Mars can be like an attack. It can be like, okay, well, how are you going to take action? Mars can be competition. And it has heavy involvement with like Leo's energy. So where the energy of enlightenment or happiness is supposed to come in, you're like, how do you warn people about this? Give information or be analytical and efficient to be able to even say something about it. Here's Mother Nature warning about danger coming in the near future. So there's global changes that are taking place, and then Aquarius' energy is just out here like, well, I'm going to be the water bearer. I'm going to just try to like give the knowledge that I have on how we're meant to live a practical life here. I don't know. This feels like God's coming. Like, I promise you. See what I'm saying? Like, there has to be balance in between the yin and yang. And then the minute that you live by those specific principles and you remain impulsive and continuously, you know what I mean, taking a specific direction and making and planning for better, you receive some sort of good fortune. I see the horseshoe here. The horseshoe is freedom. So maybe you're going up against, like, or discriminating this organization. All right? Because Capricorn's energy could definitely be like government stuff. All right? Venus in Virgo, it's like you're supposed to be reaping the fruits of your own labor. That's crazy. I don't know what Trump is doing, but I heard he's taking away like food stamps and stuff. Sirius right now, I believe, is like retrograding in the sign of Aries, which is the house of self. Hold on a second. Yeah. And I spoke about from the 20th through the 31st of this month and being like the last 10 to 11 days in the month of October. We were looking into how from the 5th to the 4th degree and where it's retrograding, it has all to do with like self-care, nurturing, parenting, agriculture, and that was going to be the main focus. So anything involving like your skill, what you're loyal to, your values, and how you're going to bring balance into the polarity of like feminine and masculine energies, we're going to be at hand here, like being reviewed. You know what I mean? So because we have like Juno and Vesta in the sign of Sagittarius, and where I'm seeing this is a heavy focus on principles, Juno is all about like commitment, marriage, partnerships, how you're bonding, and how the stirring of that emotion is awakening the inner authentic self of, you know, how you're supposed to be training others in connection to specific relationships and how you're bringing that together. This could be personal relationships, platonic relationships, family dynamic. It could be business partnerships, any type of thing. All right. But I feel like it has a lot to do with like how you're sharing your goals or how others are following their dreams and who are you bringing along with you to build some sort of foundation here. All right. And Vesta having all to do with sacrifice and devotion, and where the Three of Swords, a lot of people could be going through like separation, heartbreak, loss. And it's like, what is missing on the other side? You don't know what's missing just yet. You have to look into this sense of innocence first. Why are you doing what you're doing? How are you going to bring those with you? Because it's like you going down your own pathway, you courageously discover your own place in your own life. And it has a lot to do, again, with your principles, like spiritual principles, being spiritually disciplined. So that's how you secure the future of children, how it gives you time to recuperate your own energy. All right. It almost feels like whatever is missing at this time, the more that you work on yourself, the better will come at a later time. Um, Palace being direct in the sign of Aquarius, we spoke about that and how it's now direct from the 8th to the 9th degree. So all of the wisdom, the knowledge that you have that you're focused on is how you're creating with you being idealistic and setting specific intentions with spiritual teachings, your morals, how you're inventing technology and what's driving the sense of beauty, grace. And again, it's how we shape to think of what we feel about life, what we've experienced, that type of thing. So through speech, showing potential, maybe you're like a public speaker. Again, you have all this knowledge. Just like, what do you do with it? You can't have it entrapped. And you can't be in fear. You got to take action to make things come true. So it's almost like you want to see the change that you want to see in the world. That's crazy. That's what this is. It's like, be the change you want to see in the world. And bring everybody along with you, as long as you're living by your ethics, your morals, your principles. All right, so we also have like Chiron retrograding, which is a lot of core wound healing, vulnerabilities. All right. I feel like higher forces are at work, and you could be utilized in that way if you are seen as being very idealistic or living by your specific principles. So it's meant to like help you shape your destiny, and there could be bringing in the state of abundance that way. What else is here? The Psyche, which I believe is currently now retrograding. at the 22nd degree. It just stepped in with the moon and, with the sun in Scorpio on the 22nd. Here we are moving towards, again, the 24th. All right. So there has to be a focus on mental relaxation, like trying not to stress, focus on living more so a practical life. The soul, the consciousness, your mind, it has to be focused on your values, your ideals, what inspires you in life, and what's motivating you to obtain satisfaction on your pathway. So releasing emotions, possibly like a sense of frustration or whatever that may be, all right? And then what intellectually and emotionally drives you. If you are trying to bring in global change or how to, bring in global unity, it kind of feels like it starts within you. It's giving me like an inner healing. And then Sappho is also direct in Cancer, all right, which is your artistic abilities, how you sexually express, who your partners are. That all has to do with your ethics, your morals, your values. And then it says, it could be like a lot of selfish claims that come in where you're like apologetic about how you're moving forward. Maybe you feel like something needs to be justified, your goals or what's, involving your family, your home, your foundation, your inner healing. I'm telling you. So a lot having to do with like your comforts as well. This specific reading, I remember it was deleted like literally halfway, and I don't know why that ever happens, but Spirit always says like maybe this is not the time to speak on it. So I'm reading all this again because I had just did like a specific project on the last couple of days of October and what we're going to be experiencing, because we have a lot of trines going on right now. Like in the energy, I just kind of want to share this with you guys real quick. We have my stuff. We've got Jupiter in Cancer, which is water cardinal energy. We have the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Mars in fixed water energy. And then we've got Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node all retrograding in the sign of mutable water energy. Water energy is like, you have to remain adaptable, flexible, versatile with many different changes, and it's affecting you emotionally. You know what I mean? It's craziness. We have a lot of like air and water, which typically isn't compatible. Like Venus is in Libra, Pluto's in Aquarius, Uranus is in Gemini. We were picking up on all the air signs earlier as well in the energy check-in. So it's kind of like the mental and the emotional are working hand in hand. And the only thing that's in fire sign and where you need to take action is in Chiron, dealing with core wounds. It's crazy. All right. And what is of the earth? It's air and it's water. You know what I'm saying? Like most of it. It's all air and water. It's crazy. I'm just saying. It could be a massive change happening right now. Global unity. How to bring like whatever needs to be known right now. Living by your principles. Let's see. I'm just going to do another quick spread without the oracle. See what comes out. I feel like major challenges overall. I just saw 43, 46. I don't know if that's an angel number. 4 is associated to the North Node. 3 is associated to Jupiter. And the number 6 is associated to Venus. 10 of Swords, 5 of Wands, the Fool card, wow. Hierophant, 5 of Pentacles. There's a lot of resistance and people wanting to step in and actually like focus on mentoring others, supporting others, being there for others financially so that we live a more abundant, prosperous life. It's weird. It's almost like everybody chooses to fight rather than make change. Because the goal is to have the brand new beginning with the Fool card, to take a leap of faith, to take that risk. But I see lots of betrayals happening right now. There could be a lot of massive endings, like unexpected endings, but it's only to have a better beginning. I'm seeing like heavy on like the sun in Gemini energy here. And then obviously this is Uranus, which is in the sign of Gemini retrograding, currently at the 1st degree. I just want to look into that energy one more time. I looked into this previously. So it says discovering new dimensions. The unconscious mind holds as many secrets as the ocean depths, which can be revealed to one who inquires. So again, maybe you're focused on gaining a skill highly tapped into your intuition, your unconscious mind, and it holds many secrets. Ocean depth, it's water energy. So how can we reveal that to one who is inquiring that? Those that are highly intuitive, that don't understand something, it kind of feels like the sun and Gemini energy, you guys have to remain adaptable and learning. So only those that are doing things for a good cause, that are overcoming these challenges, or understanding how the changes are coming for the near future. More than likely, you're already part of this organization. You've been receiving resistance, but in the near future, you are the one that's supposed to mentor and or bring clarity to situations where we all need to work together and build wealth, so that we remain abundant in the near future. Oh shit. It says there exists vast oceans of reality in which we remain almost entirely unconscious and yet can sometimes glimpse with peripheral and or dimmed visions. It says to the curious, the first foggy awareness triggers excitement and wonder, and even a hint that we could get closer if we surrendered the safety of our own little egos. So for those of you that are like egotistical or too prideful to understand what principles are, you will never make it to the other side. You will continuously try to criticize the person that is trying to warn you about what is to come in the near future in global unity. Two of Cups. The Seven of Cups. It's almost like, how can we create and birth new so that we can overcome whatever seems to be the secret here? This is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is like a complete wish fulfillment. It's how you're meant to come in and inspire other people. Jupiter and Pisces energy with Nine of Cups. The Emperor. This is about like you stepping into your power, or you being seen as a leader in the near future so that you can help others align with their destiny, their future, their pathway. So in the near future, we got Saturn stepping into Aries. We got Neptune stepping into Aries. Saturn will bring restriction to the house of self. Neptune will walk you through overcoming whatever seems to be the illusion of who you thought you were, and really step into the reality of this is who I really am in the near future. This is no longer a secret. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't fool anybody here. This is also about you lining with specific soulmates. And if this is your energy, you have to be emotionally balanced, feminine, masculine, yin, yang. All right, it's giving me consciously, subconsciously. Like, you have to understand what this is. Because right now in Piscean energy, this is how you're supposed to, like, gain perspective. This is an introspective time, a time to go within and understand mysteries about yourself. And that's how you're going to be able to have a win on the other side, something successful. Yeah. And it kind of gives you, like, new opportunities as well. And this could be anything. I mean, yeah. Could be new opportunities for work. All right. New skills. Wow. I feel like you're in the near future, you're going to, like, want to keep a boundary up with certain situations that involve egotism, pride, attachments to other people. Like, you're going to want to do something. I'm hearing independently. But that's not what this is. Aquarius's energy is supposed to be the humanitarian and bring unity to organizations, being like a member of a group that leads, you know what I'm saying? With wisdom and knowledge. And through the intellect, so we understand something consciously. I feel like it's a subconscious thing right now. Page of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Three of Cups is heightened intuition right now. And I feel like this is the reason why those that understand intuition, those that can reveal the secrets and the mysteries of the universe, this is the reason why it's kind of feeling like you guys are dealing with some sort of egotism and or pride, or you're having to stand ground on what you understand because you're already envisioning this and what the opportunities are in the near future, how things are going to change. Something changes and it's innovatively. Gemini energy is of significant. I can't make this shit up. It almost feels like fucking AI. Like, it feels like AI. Like Three of Swords, you're already devoted to this. Saturn and Libra's energy. It has a lot to do with like bringing, again, Libra energy is balance, is diplomacy. It is, anything having to do with fairness. This is Gemini's energy. Due to the choices that we make right now, or who you choose to involve with here romantically, this is the Lover's card, all right, could affect how you see the truth of the near future, how you're going to have some sort of victory and success, doing something in the public eye. Jupiter steps into Leo next year, 2026, and it will affect the entire world. I want to look up something real quick. I want to look up like the details of what Jupiter Leo is. With Jupiter being in Cancer in its occultation, technically Jupiter in Leo's energy in the Six of Wands, it speaks about publicity. All right, so maybe this is about why the government doesn't want everybody to know what's going on or it going into the public eye. Let me just read on this. So Jupiter is all about how you gain, right? Leo's energy is about how you be creative and or self-expressive. So let's just say that you do something in the media or you're doing something online. It's more so innovative, right? Like it's gonna hit worldwide. Where's my fucking card at? I'm getting pissed off here. Hold on. It's something that will hit worldwide where you will be able to possibly even obtain a lot of money, like stability. And it feels like the government is like, fuck no, because we wouldn't need them anymore if everybody knew about this spiritual thing going on. Like if you lived by your principles, if everybody knew intuitively, we are all connected in one true source. You understand? This is technically supposed to be seen as the world, and all elements are involved here. Let me just kind of read what this says here. This card, it says an angel reaches and touches the stars. The stars are what? It's how everything is coming into alignment, right? She is publicity, carrying the flag and spreading fame far and wide. She circles the small globe of the earth containing the four elemental colors: red for fire, green for earth, yellow for air, and blue for water. So once again, if something was to be spread worldwide and everybody knew, oh, okay, well, this is the type of energy that we're in currently right now in water. All right, Jupiter is expanding in the energy of emotions. The sun is in the sign of emotion. The, moon is in the sign of emotion. Mercury, communication, is through the sign of emotion. Mars and how we're taking action is through the sign of emotion. Saturn, we're restricted emotionally. Neptune, we're in the illusion is in the emotion. No, it's that you're subconsciously understanding what the destiny is at this current time. If everybody knew about this publicity wise, like meaning online and how the stars are aligned, everybody would be living in alignment. We wouldn't need a fucking government, okay? We wouldn't need some sort of organization overall. We wouldn't be having a like, I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of corruption that could be happening in the background overall. That's what I feel. All right, but let me read this energy. It says here, in order for Jupiter Leos to develop and grow, they constantly need to find themselves in situations in which they can put on an impressive show. Jupiter Leos think bigger than most and so have to take the lead if they want to get things done. Local events that need creative imagination and lavish ideas are waiting for their special talents. So plenty of socializing gives people with this planet sign combination ample chances to radiate their natural warmth. But if they can find a creative job, then so much the better. Their creativity finds for appreciation in any of the arts, and their talents, whether professional and or amateur, grow as they mature. With this placing of Jupiter, gambling with the temptation and some discipline may be useful to rein in over optimism in this area. The children of Jupiter Leos, if they have any, are likely to be the source of great pride, and parents will spare no expense to their education. There is likely to be at least one creatively talented and successful offspring. It says, because of the Leo link with children, when this card is drawn in a reading, it can indicate the encouragement of a child in a creative expression of their talent. This can manifest negatively as the archetypal over-pushing mother of the child's star, living out her fantasies or fame through her progeny. All right, so again, there's something having to do with like feminine energy being here. All right, like mother figures. The feminine is the empress. So however it is that you're creating, maybe you do have a Jupiter and Leo placement. Or this is what's coming up in the energy by 2026. All right, positively, it can refer to a nurturing and supportive parent. It says blowing one's own trumpet. This is like toot toot, like I'm pat on my back. You know what I mean? The attraction of some sort of fame and or attention, and or taking the leading role of a local activity, a prominent member of a church or a similar organization. So if you are the star to bring change in and you're doing something creatively and you're putting in the public eye online even, that's a problem. But it's not a problem. See what I'm saying? You're going to be the one to bring global change just by speaking something and expressing yourself creatively online. That's what this feels like. Because Uranus will step back into Gemini, okay, in 2026. Saturn and Neptune will enter back into the sign of Aries, and they will not go retrograde back into the signs of Taurus and Pisces. You understand? So Aries to Gemini's energy, which is the first and the third house, will always sextile, no matter at what degree those planets are in. But those are like big planets, revolutionary planets, right? Neptune takes years to step into another sign. All right, Uranus takes years to step into another sign. Saturn takes about 2 to 3 years to step into another sign. So this is going to start bringing massive changes in overall in communication and how you express through the house of self and doing something creatively. Jupiter stepping into Leo. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just the personal planets that typically go through every single sign almost, closely through the year. Some take over 2 years to go through every sign, but more than likely we're going to start seeing massive changes with the outer planets is what I'm saying. So if you are able to explain something publicly and what's happening overall in the energy, I don't know, astrology for me is so significant to these transits. It could be creating some sort of coral, all right, surrounding family dynamics. This Mars and Cancer energy has a lot to do with like divorce, foster parenting, other children. It has a lot to do with like negotiations over, who's taking the kids, who's not taking the kids. It's a lot of different energy. So there could be a lot of fighting here. I just don't feel like people are adapting to the principles of what, see what I'm trying to say? Look at the sun and moon. People are not balanced overall in the third and the ninth houses. This is about living through your morals, your ethics, your principles, remaining enthusiastic, more adventurous, having a sense of freedom. And over here, you're kind of like trying to adapt to changes in how you're receiving this communication. More than likely, with the moon, it's being subconsciously. And then it's affecting, like there could be deception in connection to specific partnerships, whether they're platonic, romantic, business. This one is giving me like, that there's a snake around you, and this could be causing some sort of quarrel. This is weird. I'm seeing heavy mutable and then cardinal energies again. Third and the ninth houses with oppositions, confrontation, and then I'm seeing Mercury and Mars, which are the closer planets, with the fourth house and the seventh house, home and relationships. So why is this a problem? Because there's major choices coming up here. All right. I mean, Mars is already out of Libra, but There was choices that were supposed to be made specifically in the house of relationships while Mars was transiting there. That's crazy because I'm seeing Venus in the sign of Aries at its detriment, and I'm seeing Mars in Libra at its detriment, where typically Mars rules over Aries, Venus rules over Libra. So you see what I'm trying to say? It's almost like a waiting, ticking time bomb, a fucking volcano about to happen. Who's lusting after who? Who's dating who? Who's entrapped in a fucking deceptive ass marriage? Like, there's something weird going on here. And it's almost like, well, here everybody is trying to take a risk and having a brand new beginning in the house of self, possibly trying to take a leap of faith, move on. And then you got this bear that's coming in, like, willing to attack. Because Saturn wants structure in the house of self. There has to be some sort of core wound healing. I see the key. There needs to be collaboration. I see the Three of Pentacles there. So Saturn is now retrograding in Pisces. All right. It could be bringing discipline into the spiritual community. All right. And where others need to learn how to be more vulnerable, more compassionate, more loving, more spiritual. Before you can present yourself as somebody that's stern or structured or, you know what I mean, disciplined. It's like you have to learn how to persevere towards your own goals before you try to attract someone in. Like, your spirituality is what you're attracting, or that's the purpose of this. All right, and I see the Sun in Gemini again. It requires a lot of adaptability and versatility here. Up until you receive some sort of inheritance. I don't know. Or that's how your inheritance comes in. It's like, have you done the work? Do you understand what harmony is? Okay. This is a very, like, off the hook reading. I was not expecting that. I'm just going to get into Answer Oracle, and then I'm going to get out of here because I'm feeling, like, tired. It's draining me, this energy. And that's what this could be. Very draining. So in transit for later today, we have for Friday the 24th. I mean, we're not in energy checking until later today, but we already see the, that's crazy. We already see the moon trine over to Neptune and Pisces. With it being in Scorpio, we are already ingressed into the moon in Sag. So now at 1:28 a.m., we're going to see an opposition to Uranus and Gemini, which had a lot to do with how we're discovering new dimensions. All right, moon and Sag, how we're going to remain optimistic about those changes. And at the same time, we're going to see the moon and Sag at a biquintile to Chiron and Aries. And where we're dealing with those core wounds, those vulnerabilities, and how we want to make change. All right, it's like you can show potential by confronting whatever the issue is of how you're uncovering whatever this new dimension of life is. All right. We do see the moon in Sag at a semi-sextile to the Sun in Scorpio. It's going to sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. All right, so there is a dynamic of, like, fire and air energy today. Pluto bringing in that transformation that we need to see, but then we're also going to see that Sun in Scorpio square over to Pluto Aquarius. All right, so the endurance is saying, well, we have lots of endurance. Are we going to allow the transformation to happen? So Mercurian energy being now in the sign of Scorpio will then quincunx over to Chiron and Aries. There's going to be a lot of discord with, well, these are my vulnerabilities. What am I going to do about it? Mercury and Scorpio energy says, well, there could be news of endings that you're not happy about. All right. It could be more so like heavy arguments that come in. All right. Feeling forced to do something or forced to transform something that you feel you're not ready to deal with. And then we see that Mercury trine over to Jupiter and Cancer. Like, if you just allow, all right, some sort of change to take place, or allow the opportunity to open up here involving the deep emotional state or what you feel requires the change, all right, then new opportunities present themselves. This is all happening like early morning. It's given from midnight all the way through like 11 a.m. And then we'll see the discord start taking place with why haven't you dealt with these cold healings? With this moon in Sag at now a Sesky quadrant to Chiron Aries, 7:38 p.m. 7:52, a Sesky quadrant to Jupiter in Cancer. See what I'm saying? There's a pattern happening here. It's like Spirit is giving you the opportunity to deal with something. Start the confrontation now. All right, the sextile takes place. Have you allowed the transformation to happen? When the tension starts, why does it feel like there's discord? Did you get something auspicious out of it? Did it bring you in some sort of positivity? If not, then you're going to deal with more disharmony. And I feel like this has a lot to do with how we're supposed to be transforming this energy and remaining optimistic about or adaptabilities, all right? Flexibility with whatever changes are happening. It could be different for everybody. But I feel like, again, it has a lot to do with principles because the moon is in Sag. Okay? You need to be at peace. Things need to be in harmony and order, serenity, all right? Calmness. 1 second. All right, so says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. Amen. I don't know, serenity prayer. I felt like I needed to read it. Okay. In order for you to be at peace. All right. So yeah, it's kind of feeling like we need to be flexible with changes. And it's not always going to be pretty. Okay. So bend but do not break. Shift with grace. Again, heavy on that water energy. I see like this woman, she's standing in front of the ocean. All right. So maybe she's wanting to take a leap of faith and be at peace. And it's kind of like be flexible with how you're dealing with your emotional state almost. All right. Yield. So I feel like, again, that energy of you need to be cautious. All right. How you're feeling like you're forced to surrender and accept what is, whatever the transformation is. I see the butterflies. And then it feels like it's an upheaval that's coming, or some sort of destruction or disaster. Scorpio's energy will transform something quickly, and it's suddenly that it takes place. So show gratitude for whatever the changes is. Show appreciation for what you have right now. You never know what the world can bring in from one day to the next. I feel like if one day we're ever fucking wiped out and spirit is like, I'm done with everybody, I'm going to have a brand new beginning, we all need to be at peace, it will feel like a disaster happens. All right, so cherish what you have right now. Remain determined while you can in going all out. Even if you feel like you're struggling desperately, you always have to have belief in victories. All right, so if you were meant to come into this lifetime to do a specific, or were held to a specific standard to live a specific pathway, then that's what you have to hold yourself towards. Is do what you came here to do, what was destined for you to do, what was fated for you to do. That's how you know you're on the right pathway. All right, because I feel like, I don't know, divine timing is here. There could be some sort of synchronization about a deadline. I just seen my phone hit 10%. It's giving me like Wheel of Fortune, like your destiny's calling. Like it's time. Like you could be right in the moment. There's something about communication too, like Mercurian energy. So Mercury and Scorpio. Like maybe you need to communicate how things are meant to transform. And again, there's this complying card here. This is the rules and the regulations and the laws and the unwritten laws of the universe. That's why I feel like we've seen the devil come out. Like this is part of what that is. There's something about like running, like focusing on your health. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm seeing the ring of like Jupiter or Saturn. Restriction, discipline, perseverance, determination, ambition versus opportunities, prosperity, abundance, you know, and higher knowledge. Like, that's what I feel. It's like time to comply with the universe, because if not, you're being warned to surrender and accept, because there's a fucking disaster coming. Like, you need to be at peace with whatever it is. Bend but don't break, shift with grace, and appreciate what you have right now. There is belief in victory. Remain determined. Don't give up. Confession, prayer, and repentance. So again, the serenity prayer is how I heard it. So I just read it to you guys. So there's a reflection period. And again, it has a lot to do with how things were in the past, memories. I don't know if it's like in connection to old acquaintances. All right. Again, old depths. That's Scorpio's energy, is depth. Okay. It's weird. There's transformational times happening, and it's happening right now, like right in front of our faces. And it feels like global unity is where it's starting, apparently, today. Okay. Hold on a second. Ooh, it hurts. All right, so in astrology, the eighth house symbolizes transformation, death, rebirth, along with the sharing of resources, intimacy, and the mysteries of life. It rules over joint finances, inheritances, legacies, and other people's money, as well as themes like sexuality, the occult, and profound psychological and or spiritual change. While often associated with negative events, it also represents the process of overcoming fears, undergoing deep regenerative transformations. hmm So this could be like, if it has to do with shared resources, if it has to do with like a money thing, this could be your spouse's money, how you're receiving an inheritance, how you're going to be paying off taxes, what you're invested in, your bank accounts, things like that. All right. If this is like life after death, um, the eighth house is mostly famously linked to themes of death. So while it can indicate morality and loss, it is more about the philosophical and or the transformational aspect of death if you're at the end of a specific cycle. If it's about intimacy and sexuality, it represents deeper, more intimate levels of connection. That's the sharing of oneself with another, ruling over sex and the psychological and energetic exchanges in relationships. All right. If it's of the mystery and what is of the unknown, it dives into the hidden realms, pretty much. The hidden truths, the secrets, the subconscious state, or things that might be taboo to other people. All right. The mystical experiences that include the occult. All right. And then if it's like fear or phobias, it's in the area of life where you have to face your greatest fears. All right. Or where you feel psychological like baggage, like things that you need to release overall. And it also can indicate surgeries. All right. So surgeries in connection to the physical body. What else was here? Yeah, it just feels like a regeneration after a time of crisis. So if you in your life have felt that you've gone through some sort of upheaval or some sort of disaster in your life, then this is a transformational part of it. All right, so we just had 4 planets in the sign of Scorpio. Now the moon is in Sag. So we have Mercury, Mars, and now the sun. And those are typically personal. Sun is your purpose. Mercury is obviously communication. And then Venus is your values. Okay. Um, I think that was just more so heavy on the energy I was picking up on. Alright. So I'm gonna use one card to close this ending and where we should focus more so what spirit feels like is the best thing. Alright. I think we kind of went deep into whatever that was. That was too much, to be honest. Alright, there's something going on with the government or like the specific organization or how things are gonna transform. Wow. I mean, it keeps coming up. It came out earlier. There is a lot of manipulation going on right now in the ethers. And it needs to be put out there publicly. Fifth house and the eighth house are fixed signs, both with Jupiter energy. You have knowledge about this. It's like, say something. Put it in the public eye. Follow the stars. Follow the elements of what's happening here so we can understand that we're living through, I don't know, it's like we have the ability to pry out some sort of secrets here. Jupiter and Scorpio, a difficult legal problem, persuasive promotions or propaganda for a person or a project, and or detective work to pry out someone's secrets. Says in a reading, this card can warn that one is following a false and or a manipulative as person. This could be what needs to be publicized. Literally. Alright. So it says Scorpio's natural rulership of the 8th house shows a benefit from an inheritance or a heirloom. We are supposed to be inherited wealth right now. Where the fuck is it? That's what this feels like. Because of how we're being creative. Alright? And how we've been self-expressing overall. But it looks like we're dealing with deceptive courtships. A two-faced ass fucking person. Saturn and Leo. 5 of Wands is creating conflict, and you're still out here doing something for a good cause. You're supposed to be teaching children. And I'm feeling like heavy on the energy of the stars. Look at this. The stars are in the hat. They're here all over. Look at these stars. Look at this. Follow the stars. That's the message. I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.